Afternoon. Hope everybody's well. Right, so let's talk about this. Okay, so the issues at the moment, well, there's two issues really. Firstly, there is the whole obesity argument again, and then there is this thing about calorie counting and whether or not that's good for you. So what I'm going to talk about today is going back to the point about when people say obesity is a complex issue. Again, a lot of people say this when they don't really understand it because they think that they say it's complicated without really understanding why it's complicated. And the reason why it's complicated is because of the factors that sit below the behaviours that cause you to gain weight. Okay, so let's keep this really, really simple. So you gain weight because you eat too much and you don't exercise enough, or you don't move enough, you're not active enough. Okay, those are the reasons, the factors that determine you being overweight. Okay, primarily. Okay, so for most normal people, which is probably 99.9% of people, we eat too much, we don't move enough, we gain body fat. Okay, now below that sit all these other factors. Okay, that's where people think they're saying about complicated, it gets complicated. Okay, so what this is driven by is if you dislike yourself to the point where you engage in a form of self-harm, which is gluttony and lack of movement, yeah, because it's not good for you physically. So what it fundamentally means is there's a lack of self-worth there, self-esteem, however you want to badge it, that there's a lack of self-worth, okay? So when I was fat, I've experienced both sides of the coin. So I've experienced being fat, disliking myself, and being this now, which doesn't give you a perfect life, which just means that you don't dislike yourself. So life isn't, you being fit and healthy doesn't fix all your problems. What it does do is it makes you deal with them better because you've got a better self-worth. Okay, now arrogance and vanity are a different thing. That's a different level. Yeah, that's not in this conversation. The conversation is about health and about how you view yourself. And you can be healthy and you can be unhealthy. You can have a healthy view of yourself and an unhealthy view of yourself. You're always going to be a little bit self-deprecating. But, yeah, so, but, you know, you can have overall a healthy vision of yourself. So how do you improve self-worth, right? So this is the point. How do you actually improve your self-worth, okay? Competence, doing things, okay? Self-worth comes from the ability to do things and build your skill base, okay? Because the more you do things, the more competent you become, the better you feel about things, okay? So let's say we're talking about activity. So let's say you are currently sedentary and doing nothing. If you went for a 30-minute walk every day for a month, you would feel incrementally better after a month because you've done something. You've improved your competence. So your self-worth would go up. Don't know by how much because these things aren't tangible, but it would go up, okay? If you said to yourself, do you know what? I'm eating too much. So for a week, I'm going to keep a food diary and reduce what I'm eating. If you just did that for 1 week and stuck to it, your self-worth would increase because you proved to yourself you can do something. Okay? And what I'm talking about here is low level. So I'm not talking about if you need help from a professional or any of that. I'm not talking about depression, anxiety, any of that. I'm just talking about baseline. I'm talking about you look in the mirror, you think, I don't like what I see. I'm 3 stone overweight. Okay, you start by making doable changes so you prove to yourself you can do things, so you see progress, and that progress will then encourage you to do more, which will make you feel better. And if you feel better, you start to improve your own self-worth. Yeah, if you make the correct comparisons to yourself and your own progress. This is coaching, so I've got to be careful because this isn't a one-on-one coaching session. And that sort of thing, yeah? So that's what we need to do here. So we need to help people improve their self-worth. We're not going to do that, in my opinion, by telling people this isn't their fault. We're not going to do that, in my opinion, by telling people that they're not making the choices that are causing the problem. We're going to do that by helping people. So if you need help in improving your self-worth and working on strategies that can do that, let me know, because I've done it. I've gone from being obese, smoker, anxious, paranoid, skint, unhappy to where I am now, which again doesn't mean that all your problems are fixed. It just means you're more capable of dealing with them, okay? So if you do need help with self-worth, if you're a woman over the age of 40, we've got a free trial starting at the Fit Boy Bootcamp next week. If you want to get involved in that, just click the link above or below and get your application, and we'll give you a free week's trial, 7 days access to our program. If you're not in that category, or you don't feel like the group thing's for you, but you do want help, feel free to get in touch. Drop me a message, click on my profile. You can get in touch via the means. If anybody you know may benefit from this, please share it, and I'd appreciate a like or a comment as well. That'll help me out greatly. So yeah, improve your self-worth, little steps, and watch the magic happen. Have a good day.